श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव सदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद। श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव सदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते। गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदानेश्वरी। वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। बोलो श्री राधे गोलोकानंद भगवान की जय।
जय
हरे कृष्णा एवरीवन।
जय हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा निशा।
Hare Krishna.
Krishna. All right, so welcome back everyone after 2 weeks of break. Hopefully it was a nice break for everyone. And so now let's get back to Srimad Bhagavatam. So all can hear me, yeah?
Yes.
Yes, good, good. तो हम लोग एक्चुअली जैसे कि हम लोग कैंटो 3 पढ़ रहे हैं, या the status quo. We completed first two cantos, and now we are on canto 3, the creation of Kumars and others. तो जैसा कि याद होगा, if you still remember, all the 4 Kumars, Sanat Kumars, right? They appeared to Lord Brahmaji, right? And when they appeared, Lord Brahmaji really wanted them to expand the universe. However, the Lord Kumar, the Sanat Kumars were so dedicated to Lord Sri Krishna, they were not concerned about anything else. They were really in the liberation mode, and they were praying to Lord Vishnu and the Lord Sri Krishna. So Lord Brahmaji actually got angry, and he tried to control his anger, but he could not. And with that, Lord Rudra appeared. Yeah, Lord Rudra appeared. And when Rudra appeared, he was like all the red and blue and all that. And then anyway, at the end of the day, what happened was Brahmaji asked Lord Rudra to do Mahatapasya. So we actually see Lord Mahadev, Lord Rudra is always in meditation. Okay, always meditating on Lord Vishnu. Yeah. So that's Mahadev. And then Lord Brahmaji wanted to expand the universe. So if you remember, then last few shloks, we saw how Lord Brahmaji manifested 9 sons. Yeah. 9 sons, and then 10th one, Lord Rishi, Dev Rishi Narad. Yeah. So I don't know if anyone remembers any of the names of the 9 sons, the Brahma Rishis of Lord Brahma. Right. So like if you remember, Vasishta Muni appeared from the Shwas. Shwas se Vasishta Muni appear हुए. Okay. Atri Muni आंखों से हुए. पुलस्त्य मुनि कानों से हुए. अंगिरा मुनि मुख से हुए. And then Daksha Muni अंगूठे से हुए. Okay, पुलस्त्य मुनि नाभि से हुए. भृगु मुनि स्पर्श से हुए. तो ऐसे there were 9 rishis appeared from 9 different parts of Lord Brahma's body. Yeah. और देव ऋषि नारद अपीयर हुए कहां से जाना? So then Dev Rishi Narad appeared from Mastisk. So that's why he is Dev Rishi, and he is the utmost Rishi dedicated to Lord Shri Vishnu and Purushottam, Lord Purushottam. Yeah. So after that, after the Rishi Muni appeared and Lord Rudra went into meditation, okay, we'll be reading next what happens, how Lord Brahmaji manifests the remaining worlds. Yeah. So we'll start with the shlok 34. Ravi?
कदाचित् धयात सृष्टु वेदा आश्रतु मूर्खान् कथन स्रक्ष्यायम यो लोकान् समवेतान् यथा पुरा. Once upon a time, when Brahma was thinking of how to create the world, as in the past millennium, the four Vedas, which contain all varieties of knowledge, become manifested from his four mouths. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, it says answer, आसन चतुर्मुखात. Okay, so चार मुख है ब्रह्मा जी के, जिसे हम लोग जानते हैं. And from four mukhs, the four Vedas appeared, yeah? And four Vedas have varieties of knowledge. Okay, so we'll continue reading the shloks. Anil ji?
जी. चातुर्होत्रं कर्म तंत्र मुपपेद नयः सह धर्मस्य पादाश्च त्वारस्तथैवाश्रम वृत्तयः. The four kinds of paraphernalia for conducting the fire sacrifice became manifest. The performer, the chanter, the offerer, the fire, and the action performed in terms of the supplementary Vedas. Also, the four principles of religiosity, truth, austerity, mercy, and cleanliness, and the duties in the four social orders all became manifest. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah. So four Vedas got manifested. And then for the fire sacrifice, yeah, the performer, right, who is going to chant, the offerer, fire, and the action performed in terms of the supplementary Vedas, right, mantras got manifested. And the four principles of religiosity, which are like, what are the four principles? Truth, austerity, stop, mercy, and cleanliness are the four principles of religiosity. And the duties in four social orders all became manifested. Okay, so that's in that order. And Reena ji?
विदुर उवाच स वै विश्वसृजामीशो वेदादीन् मुखतो असृजत् यद् यद् येनासृजत् देवस्तन्मे ब्रूहि तपोधन. Vidur said, O great sage, whose only wealth is finance, kindly explain to me how and with whose help Brahma established the Vedic knowledge which emanated from his mouth. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vedic knowledge which emanated from his mouth, right? Just like, four Vedas appeared from four mouths of Lord Brahma. It says Mukto Asrijat, yeah? And Vidur Mahatma is saying this to whom?
Maharshi Maitreya.
Maitreya Muni, yeah? Remember, the conversation is between Maitreya Muni and Mahatma Vidur. So if you remember the whole thing, where Mahatma Vidur is on pilgrimage, yeah, and then he reaches Yamuna Tat, where he meets Uddhavji, yeah, and then Uddhavji asks him to go to Maitreya Muni, who is doing tapasya at Ganga Nadi. So Vidur Mahatma meets Maitreya Muni, and then Mahatma Vidur is asking all these questions, right? So in fact, on the whole of Canto 3, all the chapters we have been reading are the questions which have been asked by Mahatma Vidur to Maitreya Muni, and Maitreya Muni has been explaining and giving answers to all these questions, right? And we saw all the other, how Maitreya Muni was present when Lord Sri Krishna himself was explaining this to Uddhavji and so on and so forth. And then also You know how Maitreya Muni got this knowledge from Parashar Muni, right? Who got it from Sankhya Muni, who got it from Lord Shankarshan himself, right? So that's how the whole knowledge has been coming through. So Mahatma Vidura is in this case asking, "O great sage, whose only wealth is penance." Tapodhan, he's saying, Bruhi Tapodhan. So Maitreya Muni's only wealth, he does not have billions of dollars and all that. But this is his wealth, right? The total dedication, the devotion to Lord Shri Krishna, and the total knowledge base is this. So that's how Mahatma Vidur is addressing him. Oh, great sage, yeah, kindly explain me with whose help Lord Brahma established the Vedic knowledge which emanated from his mouth. Yeah. And four Vedas, we know all the four Vedas, right? What are the four Vedas?
Rigved,
Samved,
Yajurved,
Rugved,
Rigved,
Yajurved,
Samved, Yajurved, or
Atharvaved.
Yeah.
Atharvaved.
Samved, Yajurved, Rigved, and Atharved. So those are the four Vedas. Yeah. Rinaji?
Yeah. Yeah, please scroll down a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Maitreya Uvacha. Rigyaju Samatharvakyan Vedan Purvadibhirmukhe Shastramidyam Stutistomam Prayashitam Vedhatmakramat. Maitreya said, beginning from the front face of Brahma, gradually the four Vedas, Arke, Rigved, Yajur, Sam, and Atharva, became manifest. Thereafter, Vedic hymns, which had not been pronounced before, priestly rituals, the subject matters of the recitation, and transcendental activities were all established one after another.
Hare Krishna, right? So after, so the four Vedas are the origin, and then everything else also got established after that. Tarun?
Ayurvedam, Dhanurvedam, Gandharvya Vedamatmanam, Stapapatyam Chasu Jada Vedam, Kramata Purvadi Bhurmukha. He also created the medical science, military art, musical art, and architectural science, all from the Vedas. They all emanated one after another, beginning from the front face. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, right? So Vedas has a lot of knowledge, spiritual knowledge, but also all the other types of knowledge, right? Including medical science, military art, and everything. Yeah. Let's just read this, Ravi.
The Vedas contain perfect knowledge, which include all kinds of knowledge necessary for the human society, not only in this particular planet, but on other planets as well. It is understood that military art is also necessary knowledge for the upkeep of the social order, as is the art of music. All these groups of knowledge are called the Uparana or supplements of Vedas. Spiritual knowledge is the main topic of Vedas, but to help the human being's spiritual pursuit of knowledge, the other information, as above mentioned, forms necessary branches of the Vedic knowledge. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nisha?
इतिहासपुराणानि पञ्चमं वेदमीश्वरः सर्वेभ्य एव वक्त्रेभ्यः ससृजे सर्वदर्शनः. Then he created the fifth Veda, the Puranas and the histories from all his mouth, since he could see all the past, present and future. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Lord Brahma, he can see everything, right? Srije Sarva Darshana. So he can see, excuse me, past, present, and future. Yeah. And so then he created Pancham Veda, Pancham Vedam Ishvara, which is Puran. Yeah. So all the Purans are referred as fifth Vedas. Actually says uh, there are histories of particular countries and nations and of the world, but the Purans are the histories of the universe, not only in one millennium, but in many kalps. Yeah, kalp. If you remember, what is a kalp, right? Lord Brahma's one day is a kalp, right? And Brahma has knowledge of those historical facts, and therefore all the Purans are histories, as originally composed by Brahma. They are part of the Vedas and are called the fifth Veda. Rinaji?
Yeah, it's very interesting. षोडशक्युथो पूर्ववक्त्रात् पुरीष्यग्निस्तुता वथ आप्तोर् आप्तोर्यामातिरात्रौ च वाजपेयं सगोत्सवम्. All the different varieties of fire sacrifices. Sudashi, Uktha, Purishi, Agnistoma, Aptoryama, Atiratra, Vajpaya, and Gosava became manifested from the eastern mouth of Brahma. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? From the eastern mouth of Brahma. So there are different varieties of fire sacrifices. So it's not like just one type of Havan and all that. There are so many different types. And all that information is there in the Vedas and Purans. Yeah, Anilji?
जी हाँ। विद्यादानं तपः सत्यं धर्म सेति पदानि च आश्रमांश्च यथा संख्यं सृजत् सह वृत्तिभिः. Education, charity, penance, and truth are said to be the four legs of religion. And to learn this, there are four orders of life with different classifications of castes according to vocation. Brahma created all these in systematic order. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So it depending on, what, like those, the caste system is not that what, was manufactured and then, depicted. The caste system is based on what one's vocation is and what one is supposed to achieve. It's a nice purport. Let's read this, actually, Tarun.
The nucleus of the four social orders, brahmacharya or student life, grihastha or householder family life, vanaprastha or retired life for practicing penance, and sannyasa or renounced life for preaching the truth, is the four legs of religion. The vocational divisions are the brahmanas or the intelligent class, the kshatriyas or administrative class, the vaishyas or mercantile productive class, and the Sudras or general laborer class who have no specific qualifications. All were systematically planned and created by Brahma for the regular promotion of self-realization. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nisha?
Student life is meant for acquiring the best education. Household family life is meant for gratifying the senses, providing it is performed with the charitable disposition of mind. Retirement from household life is meant for penance, for advancement in spiritual life, and renounced life is meant for preaching the absolute truth to the people in general. The combined actions of all members of society make the whole situation favorable for the upliftment of the mission of human life. The beginning of this social institution is based on education meant for purifying the animal propensities of the human being. The highest purificatory process is knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the purest of pure. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So such an important paragraph, right? One simple thing is what is the retirement really means, right? We all talk about retirements, right? And every time everyone talks about the retirement, we say, okay, we are going to retirement, and, we're going to go to the beach, we are going to go for the vacation, we don't have to work, right? And that's how we look at the retirement. But all those things we have been doing anyways, right? Most of the time, or at least some of the time. So that's not really what the retirement really means, right? Retirement from the household life, okay, or which is essentially like all the general things like working and all that, is really meant for penance, right? Tap, chanting, all those are part of the tapasya, yeah, which is the advancement in spiritual life. So the retirement really is meant for advancement in spiritual life. So more and more time we can dedicate to the spiritual life advancement, okay, and of course everything else is described as well. And the education, what is the education really meant is for purifying the animal propensities of the human being, right? Eating, sleeping, all those things animals are also doing. So as a human being, if you are getting the education, that is really meant to purify. And what is the highest purifactory process is the knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the purest of the pure, right? If we don't get this knowledge about the Supreme Personality of Godhead and then how to do this tapasya to establish our relationship, right, with Lord Sri Krishna, then all the education we can become whatever PhD and whatever else, MBAs, all those are of no use really at the end of the day if we have not really done the devotional service and established our relationship. Yeah. So that's why this is such an important paragraph mentioned here. Yeah. Anisha?
पावित्रं प्राजापत्यं च ब्राह्म्य चाथ बृहत् तथा वार्ता सच्चयशालिनशिलोश्च इति वै गृहे. Then the thread ceremony for the twice born was inaugurated, as were the rules to be followed for at least 1 year after acceptance of the Vedas, rules for observing complete abstinence from sex life, vocations in terms of Vedic injunctions, various professional duties in household life, and the method of maintaining a livelihood without anyone's cooperation by picking up rejected grains. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? So like all this thread ceremony for the twice born, what is a twice born is it says that a person is twice born, like so second time when you get the Janevu and all that ceremony to get the pure, that's the second birth, right? So that's why they call twice born. So it's supposed to be more pure and more spiritual rules. See, really, if you see like all the Vedas have so many rules and all those things to be followed. That's why in Kali Yuga, we again and again read from Swami Prabhupada and everyone that in Kali Yuga, at least the most important part is really chanting the Mahamantra of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So that devotional service is really going to, do everything for purifying and advancing our spiritual life. Okay. And he also mentions Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Maharaj, who is the guru of Lord of Swami Prabhupada, right? And he was a brahmachari in the personality of the spiritual master, like renounced everything, right? Those brahmachari are very rarely seen in today's world. Yeah. Let's do one more shlok, Tarun.
Vekhanasa Valakilyayo Dumbraha Venapavane Nyase Kuti Kachaka Purvam Bhavado Hamsa Nishkriyo. The 4 divisions of retired life are the Vekhanasas, Valakilyas, Audambaras, and Fenapas. The 4 divisions of the renounced order of life are the Kutikakas, Bhavodas, Hamsas, and Nishkriyas. All these were manifested from Brahma. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, right? So it is not just like retired life, and then again in the retired life there are divisions. Okay, so many things are described in a lot more detail in fact everything. Yeah. So very interesting to read. I think we'll pause here since we only have 2 minutes. Let's hear the kirtan and then we will we'll restart from here tomorrow again. Yeah.
Hey Govinda, hey Gopal, hey Govinda, hey Gopal, hey Govinda, hey Gopal, hey Govinda, hey Gopal, hey Govinda, hey Gopal. Hey Govinda, hey Gopal. Govinda.